Have you ever made a promise you thought didn't matter, only to realize years later that it meant everything to someone else? Tonight's story begins with a young boy who trusted a promise and a man who forgot it. A promise so small, so simple, but powerful enough to change the course of a life. Today, we come to the story, The Promise I Broke, and the life it changed forever. A deep reflection on responsibility and the weight our words carry, even when we don't realize someone is holding on to them. Now, let's begin. Daniel was 30 when his past came knocking. He lived a quiet life, steady job, steady routine, steady thoughts. But nothing extraordinary, nothing that made him feel proud of who he was. One evening, after a long shift, he returned to his small apartment. As he unlocked the door, he noticed a letter lying on the floor, handwritten, no return address. Inside was only one sentence. You promised you would come back for me. Daniel's heart stopped, because those were the same words he once heard from a little boy named Evan. When Daniel was 16, he worked part-time at a youth community center, mostly cleaning, moving boxes, helping out. But there he met Evan, a 9-year-old boy with messy hair, bright eyes, and a smile that hid a sadness Daniel didn't understand back then. Evan's parents are divorced. Evan lives with his mother and stepfather. Evan's mother, after remarrying, no longer cares much about him. Sometimes they didn't come home. Sometimes they forgot him at the center. Unhappy life makes him lonely and sad. Daniel became the older brother Evan never had. They played basketball, shared snacks, talked about superheroes. But one night, Evan asked the question that changed everything. Daniel, you won't leave like everyone else, right? Daniel, without thinking, laughed and said, "Of course not. I promise." Evan smiled so brightly, as if someone finally chose him. But 16-year-olds make careless promises. When Daniel got a better job, he left the center. He told himself Evan would forget him. He never returned. And he never realized that to Evan, that promise was everything. Holding the letter now, Daniel felt something tighten inside him. A guilt so heavy, it made his knees weak. Why now, after all these years? He turned the letter over. Another small note was written on the back. If you still care, meet me at the old basketball court. Daniel didn't hesitate. The court was cracked, overgrown with weeds. The paint faded. But someone had been cleaning it. Daniel saw him, a grown young man, early 20s, sitting on the bench. Messy hair, bright eyes, a familiar sadness. It was Evan. He looked up slowly. "You came," he whispered. Daniel swallowed. "I'm sorry I didn't come sooner." There was a long silence, broken only by the wind. Evan finally spoke. "I waited for you every weekend. I thought maybe you got busy, or maybe I wasn't important." Daniel felt his chest ache. I was young, stupid. I didn't understand how much that promise meant. Evan nodded. I know. And I'm not angry anymore. Daniel blinked, surprised. Evan continued. For a long time, I told myself that people always leave. And because of that, I pushed everyone away. He looked down at his hands. But then I realized something. I don't want to live afraid of people anymore. I want to forgive. I want to move forward. Evan stood and placed a worn basketball in Daniel's hands. You were the first person who made me feel safe. Even if you broke the promise, you also taught me what kindness feels like. Daniel felt tears build. Evan smiled softly. And I want you to know something else. Your promise didn't ruin me. It made me stronger. It made me want to be the kind of person who keeps promises. They talked for hours about life, pain, growth, forgiveness. Daniel apologized again and again, but Evan simply said, "We can't change the past, but we can choose who we become now." For the first time in years, Daniel felt like he could breathe. That broken promise, the one he thought was meaningless, had shaped another human life. But not in the way he feared. It had made Evan resilient. It had taught him independence, strength, determination. And it taught Daniel something too. Every word we speak has the power to build someone or break them. Tonight's story reminds us that promises are not just words. They are bonds that can shape the heart of another person. Even broken promises can lead to growth, but keeping them can change someone's world. So speak gently, commit carefully, and when you promise, let your actions prove it. Thank you for listening. Sleep peacefully. Dream softly. And if this story touched your heart, remember to subscribe and share this video so more people can reflect tonight. Good night.